Guys, exciting news. Disney World has increased prices again.
Yes, who loves paying more? I know I do. I know this guy does.
Yes, just what we love to hear. Disney has increased prices for annual passes, parking.
Park entry, tune in.
We are going to discuss annual passes, the benefits, pros and cons, why you should, why you shouldn't.
Alrighty, so as we just mentioned, prices always going up, our favorite thing. But mainly we're here to talk about Disney annual passes for Disney World, kind of our experience with them so far, and really go over one of the main questions: are they worth it? So I think the first thing we're going to discuss is the cost.
So the breakdown for the cost of the annual pass, when we purchased our annual pass, it was $13.99 plus tax of $90.94, brings you a total of $14.89.94.
That's one ticket, one Incredipass.
Keep in mind, one ticket. The new price for one annual pass starts at $14.89. So the base price for the new annual pass is basically the total amount of last year's. It was, doing the math, it's an increase of $50. Pretty expensive.
Yes.
Especially if you're getting an annual pass for husband, wife, several children.
Right, because you have to remember, once your kid is 3 and older, they're not free. So they too would need an annual pass, essentially.
3 till free. So, with that said, everything that we're going to be basing our experience off of is going to be a family of husband, wife,
yeah,
and a free infant.
Yes. Thanks, Margot. But so with that said, it is expensive, but there's perks, there's benefits, there's discounts. So that is something we want to discuss, is it's expensive up front, but we get discounts on hotels, food, this and that. So we want to dive in on that and kind of show you how it's been worth it for us, and kind of give maybe potentially an example of how it could be worth it for, say, a family of 3 or 4.
Exactly. So want to break it down. We get asked all the time, like, how do you go so much? Isn't it expensive? And, the who, what, when, where, and why.
Yes.
So for us, it makes sense we both purchased annual passes. We go... How many times did we go this year with it?
A lot. I do think a lot of that had to do with us having the annual pass, which I'm sure that's Disney's idea. You have the pass, so you go more, you spend more. Yep. It makes sense. But we definitely wanted to make it worth our while. So with that said, there were sometimes we were going twice a month, maybe.
Yeah. And this was our first year being an annual pass holder, so I do think that kind of made us want to go and really utilize. We paid for it, why not use it?
Right. And on top of that, the discounts were incredible. I mean, I don't think that we stayed at a resort that we didn't get 35% off of our room.
Right. So let's go ahead and jump in. So that's going to be the first pro to actually purchasing a Disney World annual pass.
Yes.
Keep in mind, Disney World, Disneyland, 2 separate entities.
Right. And they're not interchangeable.
Yes. So Disney World annual pass is not going to get you perks or anything at all at Disneyland. It's 2 different places.
Right.
Disneyland has their own annual pass. Disney World has their own annual pass. So we're specifically talking about Disney World. So first pro would be the discounts.
Yes.
As Sarah mentioned, every resort, every time that we have gone, there has been, up to a 35% discount at the resort, which is huge.
Yes.
So the 35% discount is massive. For us, just that alone almost makes it worth purchasing the annual pass. If you're going to be going multiple times through the year and you can save 35% on a hotel or the resort, that's massive.
It adds up for sure.
Yeah.
Again, you get discounts on food anywhere you go on Disney properties, so that's great. And then also merchandise.
Pro number 2.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh, it's me. Your pass your park pass will count as a park hopper, so you can jump from park to park, which is cool. We just found out this is starting next year.
Next year in January, I forget the exact day in January, Disney has announced that you can now park hop anytime that you want.
Yep.
As of right now, you have to wait until 2 p.m. before you can move to the next park. So that is a huge perk. If you're an annual pass holder, you can park hop anytime that you want. You do not have to purchase or add the extra park hopper price onto a already expensive one-day ticket or multiple day ticket, whatever.
Right, which I think also leads right into our Perk Pro whatever number 3, which I personally have felt having the annual pass has taken so much stress off of us and our trips. We have an infant, you know, you can hear her right now. So if you hear throughout the video, sorry, not sorry. But you know, you sometimes don't get to the park at rope drop or early entry, or sometimes they have a blowout and you've used all your diapers or outfits and you've got to go. So the fact that we know we can go whenever we want and we can park hop and do this and that, it just makes it less like, oh my gosh, I have to cram everything in this park today because I spent so much money. I mean, yes, we've spent a lot of money, but it's not like we are limited to that one day in that park. So I think that that's helped tremendously.
I agree. I think that's huge. If you don't have an annual pass and you are going with your family and you have to do park reservations, so you're really kind of limited to that time, that one day that you're going to the park. So if you're not going to be able to get everything in, you know, you're kind of stressing, we got to be here this time, we got to be there and do that, and that kind of takes away from the vacation.
Right, and the whole point of being there, because you're just trying to like make a checklist be completed rather than just enjoying your time there with your family.
Exactly. There's a lot of times that we utilize it on our travel day, you know, the day that we arrive at Disney World or the resort, and you know, a lot of times you don't want to pay for a ticket for that day because you're only going to go to the park for maybe an hour, a couple hours or something.
Right.
So what's the point of, you know, spending that money on a one-day pass? Well, with the annual pass, it's already covered. So you're kind of like, you know what? Hey, let's go into the park for a few hours and grab a quick bite to eat, maybe catch the fireworks. So that really helps, I think.
No, I definitely agree. This is going to be a quick, tiny, like side note, but it also helps if you want to make dining reservations. You know, you have more flexibility because you have to have a park pass to be able to make a dining reservation. It's like literally this crazy, like you have to have a degree in Disney to be able to do anything, it seems like these days. So I think that also helps out. I guess, were you going to say something?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up for perk number 3.
Number 4, hang on, let's grab the baby.
Good news, guys. Margot is okay. And so we are now back to pro number 4. Pro number 4, we want to highlight that the being an annual pass holder, you are offered special events and gatherings, which are pretty cool. Yeah. We partook in one. Partook? Is that the right? Partook. Sorry. Partook in one in Epcot early summer. They held it at the Land Pavilion right next to Sunshine Seasons. Small little area. They had lockers for free that you could store stuff. Phone charging stations were giving out snacks like M&Ms, and I think there was like some crackers and stuff.
Yeah.
Some stickers with Mickey on it, cups of water. So pretty cool little area to kind of get out of the heat, hang out. Again, you had to be an annual pass holder, so you did kind of get the exclusive, you know, vibe to it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one highlight there.
I think one of my favorites are the magnet events. I think it's honestly really popular with a lot of people because, you know, some people like to throw magnets on their fridges or their cars or, you know, whatever. They just like to collect stuff. So often, I believe just in a few months, there were 2 events that we went to for Figment, and then they handed out a pack of 3 a few months later. And it's really just fun. I mean, I remember I was telling Weston, it was funny how we had gone, and this was pre-AP pass, and we were like, what's this line? We were like so annoyed, and there was a little like sign that was like annual pass holder event, magnet event, and we were like, this is so ridiculous, they can mail them out, but really we were just having FOMO and we were bitter.
We were walking through Epcot right next to Creations, and there was just a massive line. I mean, it was a cluster. You could not get through. We were like, what is this? You know, why are we... Come to find out, it was a magnet event for annual pass holders.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, here we are now, raving about being an annual pass holder and getting in those lines to get magnets.
We were just jealous. Another cool thing is that they sometimes will offer you like a soft opening, like a certain amount of days, dates, a time frame where if there is a new ride and it's finally open, finally, emphasis on that word, they let annual pass holders ride before the general public, such as Tron, Guardians.
That's a great point. You know, all the new rides that's been out within the past like year, 2 years, Guardians, Tron, the new Moana attraction at Epcot. Annual pass holders actually get to go. They're offered soft opening weeks at a time before it opens to the public.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool perk as well. You know, that those events that they offer where you can go and try out or experience the attraction before. Be the first.
Yeah.
So.
Now I'm sure Disney has that all in their mind because they're saying, hey, these people are probably going to plan an extra trip, more money for us, but hey, we'll take advantage of it. I think lastly for the perks would be special annual pass holder merchandise. There's not a ton out there. Specifically, I remember for Flower and Garden Festival in Epcot, they have a Spirit jersey, which I'm a huge fan of Spirit jerseys, with Orange Bird, and it says annual pass holder on it, and then a few other things. So if that's something you're into, that's kind of a cool little perk as well. If you're not, then disregard. But I think that's wrapping it up for pro number 4. We're going to jump into pro number 5. I believe that is our last pro on the list. You can actually take current tickets that you have, obviously that you haven't used, and credit that amount towards your annual pass holder fee. So say you have a trip coming up and you have 5 days worth of park passes. We'll just keep it easy, say it's $800 worth of tickets, and you say, you know what, I really think that I might want to come back the rest of this year. Let's just turn this into an annual pass. You can go into guest relations and they'll take that $800 and credit that towards the cost of the annual pass. So say it's $1,400 for the annual pass, $800, boom, they take that and you just pay the rest. So I think that's a really cool perk. I mean, I don't know if it's a perk, but it's just a cool thing about the annual pass that I think a lot of people don't realize.
We didn't realize that, and we actually do not have any experience in this, but we have talked to many other Disney fans that stated that that's what they did. So for example, as Sarah said, that they were mid-trip, had quite a few tickets left in their trip, and they decided, hey, we're probably going to come back again.
Right.
We should get an annual pass. So they actually went into guest relations, discussed with them, and the tickets that they still had remaining, they were able to get credit for those applied towards the price of an annual pass.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, again, still expensive, but it's kind of a different way to break it up almost. I'm going to call it your Disney math. You just pretend things are not as much as they are. But yeah, cool little tip. If you are new to Disney and you happen to go and then you just fall in love, the situation could be whatever. But that is an option if you are not currently annual pass holders. So
number 6. So Disney just announced parking prices have increased as well.
Yes.
Well, with the annual pass, you can actually park for free. So even if you're not staying on property at Disney World, let's just say you decide to get an Airbnb with family members off property or something of that nature, you can still park at the parks for free with your annual pass.
Just flash the old pass and you're good to go for free.
She rhymes all the time. She's a poet and don't know it.
Y'all don't even know I'm putting out an album soon. But yeah, so I guess now we're going to jump into our cons. I guess we'll just address what we're gonna call the elephant in the room. It's expensive. You know, it's just a really large upfront financial commitment. So, you know, it's one of those things where you don't necessarily know if you're gonna be able to make all those trips. So if you're not sure and you do renew or you upgrade your tickets to an annual pass, that's a lot of money to throw down up front. I think the only way that it's not a one-time upfront fee is if you are a Florida resident. They offer a payment plan. I think you can pay monthly.
And this is based on our experiences. We are out of state of Florida. We live in North Carolina. So we had to just upfront splash the cash and
Yeah, a big financial commitment up front, but worth it to us. I think another thing that's kind of crazy if you ask me, again, I'm a Disney lover and I still am going to say this is crazy. Annual passes cost the same for a 3-year-old versus a 43-year-old. It doesn't matter. There's not a 3 to 10-year-old, 3 to 9, I think, year old price and then 10 and up. No, it's the same price regardless.
For the day passes or the day tickets, if it's free until 3, and then 3 to 9 there is a discounted price
by like $5.
Yeah, and then 10 and above is obviously the
adult.
Yeah. So with the annual price or annual pass, the price is the same regardless.
Yeah.
So your 3-year-old's also going to be paying $1,500.
Yeah. So get ready to face that sticker shock if that's the route you guys choose to go. Yeah. I guess con number 2, we can jump into con number 2.
Yeah, con number 2, we talked a little bit about this earlier, the events that they offer being a pro. Again, this is our first year being annual pass holders. We've only been to really one gathering, one event for the annual pass holders, the one at Epcot that I mentioned. It was a little
lackluster.
Yes, thank you for the terminology there. I don't know if it was, we were expecting more, but it just felt, for the price you pay, you're expecting a little more. It wasn't the experience I was expecting. For example, the snacks they gave us, it is cool. I don't want to sound very, negative Nancy here, but the snacks was just a 1 pack of M&Ms.
Cookie M&Ms, mind you.
It was cookie M&Ms, was upgraded from plain. It was like a pack of crackers and 1 sticker with Mickey Mouse and a cup of water. Now, the cup of water to me was just like, so they had a gallon, it's a 5-gallon of ice and water that you could come up and refill.
Yeah.
There was a line actually, for people waiting to go and refill their cup, and one of the cast members approached me and said, hey, if you can actually just go over to Sunshine Seasons, where the fountain drinks are, and fill your cup up there. It's the same water. So it really kind of took away from the, oh wow, this is here for us, when I could have just walked up to, Sunshine Seasons, asked for a free water cup, and got the exact same thing.
Right. And it's not like we're expecting like a red carpet to be rolled out for us and for us to have like sparkling water and not, just normal water, but it just, hey, a bottle of water but would have been cool, even if it was like a tiny one that we can refill later.
Yeah.
Regardless, it just was underwhelming. I guess
maybe 2 packs of M&Ms for me and Sarah versus 1.
Right?
It just seemed a little
tired. I don't know how to explain it other than like it just didn't meet our expectations. Maybe our bar was set too high, but
again, you said it. We were not expecting the red carpet rolled out for us, or this lavish gathering, but it just seemed like it was missing a little something. It just the photo, not the photo shoot, but the photo, what is the
op wall?
Photo op, yes, photo op wall and everything. The ambiance for it was really cool. It just felt like it was just lacking that little minor touch, if you will.
But otherwise, I mean, that's really all of our like major cons that we really feel that we need to make note of.
Yeah.
So all in all, I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, just a short list.
Yep.
All right, so we discussed the pros, the cons. Here is the grand finito that everybody is waiting for.
Everyone.
Is the annual pass worth it? The answer for us is yes, absolutely. Again, it's a lot of money to put down up front, but all the discounts that you get for the resorts, it's the memories that you're going to be able to make with your family. That's why we do it.
Right.
We're going to go regardless. For us, it makes absolute sense.
Mm-hmm.
But now to another scenario, if you're only going to go, one time for just a few days.
And only a few of the days are park days.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah.
And we get that.
Yeah. Then I would say in that scenario, it's a no. But if it's someone, if you're a family that goes a lot, absolutely yes, I would recommend doing it. The flip side to that, if you're only going to go once, but you're someone that, when you do go, you go for like 2 weeks.
Right.
Or, a lengthy time, a week and a half, I would still say it may be worth it. I would maybe do a quick math to see, what it comes out to doing just day tickets versus an annual pass added on to the rest of your trip.
Right.
Or I would even look at the option of one person in the family getting the annual pass. That way you still get the discounts of the hotel.
Yeah.
The discounts of the food.
Yeah.
Everything else of your trip that adds up, you're getting as discounts on. So...
Yes, there's definitely different options that you can look at. And again, we're not sitting here trying to like force Disney annual pass down anyone's throat. We get that it's not worth it for everyone. Some people go once every 5 years. That's cool. But for us, it makes total sense. And we hope that we kind of broke things down a little bit more for you if you don't have a pass. Just to kind of see how it may work for you.
It was our like I say, our first year with it, so we wanted to kind of give our honest opinion.
Yeah.
We had discussed about doing it for years now. We finally pulled the trigger once Disney opened it back up for out-of-staters. So we have enjoyed it a ton.
Mm-hmm.
We've visited there a ton.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's definitely made us go more now that we have it.
Yes.
But even, again, if you don't go as often as we do, I would still highly recommend.
100%. And we do plan to renew. So we're going to start putting our loose change aside. So when that increase hits us, we're prepared.
Yep.
But yeah, so hopefully this was helpful to you guys. We may do one next year to see how things have changed, if things have changed at all. But yeah.
Let us know if you guys have any pros, cons that we missed.
Or if you have any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.